The villains in My Hero Academia are some of the most powerful and ruthless, and most likely that's one of the reasons this show has garnered so much attention. Instead of generic antagonists, this series does a fantastic job of introducing multi-tiered villains that perfectly counter our heroes. Today, we will explore those layers of evil in this video, My Hero Academia villains from evil to evil incarnate. Welcome to Cosplay-FTW, your #1 source for the latest lowdown on anime and manga news, updates, and analysis. Sit back, relax, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Date ba yo! While heroes try to maintain the peace and save those in need, villains do their best to disrupt it with vicious plans in their minds, or worse, just on a whim. This story has seen the rise and fall of some significant villains in the series, some of which were so menacing that just a mention of their name instilled fear among people. Today, we rank the villains based on their actions, the impact of their actions, and their motivations behind these actions. In the end, we reveal the #1 villain who plans to bring a horrific age upon Japan once again. So let's begin with the unlikely and quite silly villain duo La Brava and Gentle Criminal, at 10th and 9th place respectively on the evil scale. Honestly, they are the very definition of clout chasers, simply out to get some internet fame. Gentle Criminal takes center stage, with La Brava staying behind the camera to film, then edit and post their shenanigans. The fact that the pair are not truly hostile or power-seeking is what led us to this ranking. Truth be told, La Brava's only real crime is giving her support and devotion to the wrong person. And in Gentle's case, deep down, he still desires to be a hero. His bout of villainy is simply misguided. However, this doesn't detract from the fact that Gentle and La Brava can still cause harm due to their self-serving ways. We do believe there is something endearing about the relationship and great chemistry between Gentle Criminal and La Brava. It's apparent that Gentle and La Brava truly care about one another based on what we've seen. They make a great comedic duo, if nothing else, with Gentle's flair and panache complementing La Brava's fangirling and undying support. Let's hope that these two make a change for the better and work towards becoming the heroes they want to be. And failing that, there's always showbiz. At number 8, we have Himiko Toga. Our number 8 is a powerful villain who just, one can say, can't help but be drawn to villainy. You'll see why. Himiko's quirk, Transform, grants her the ability to transform into a physical look-alike of another individual, as well as copy their voice. The caveat, though, is that she can only transform into people whose blood she has ingested. The more blood she drinks, the longer she has access to that person's form. She can switch between the appearance of multiple people if she drinks the blood of more than one person. She can even duplicate a person's clothing, though her own clothes would overlap the transformation, requiring her to get naked beforehand. With a quirk like Himiko's, it seems like her path was set from the start. Despite her apparent sadistic tendencies, her evil deeds aren't done out of hatred or malice, but in her own words, out of love or friendship. Despite the twisted and misguided notion of love that is. Truly a complex character, we, the audience, are brought to question if her skewed perception of liking and loving subconsciously developed in her psyche as a way of coping with a quirk that led to her obsession with letting blood, an ability that can only hurt others. So, in a way, she's a victim to her own quirk. Doubtless, it is her quirk, which is frankly inconducive to adhering to societal norms, that makes her feel that the world is a difficult place to live in, and why her motivation is to make it a more livable place for herself and other outcasts. In stark contrast to her maniacal blood-sucking nature, Himiko has shown a very supportive side as she comforted Twice, knowing he feels the most responsible for causing Magna's death and covering a part of his ripped mask to prevent him from splitting. By extension, she is shown to care greatly about her comrades and was enraged enough by Magna's death that she wanted to kill Overhaul and his men as payback. Next up on our list is another villain with a blood-based quirk, Kizome Akaguro, also known as Stain. Kizome Kaguro is a cold, unforgiving, and merciless man with a sense of duty to cleanse society of false heroes. He believes that those who work as heroes to collect income are unworthy of being called the name, and only All Might is a true hero. Due to his strong ideology, he took it upon himself to become the hero killer. To stain his own hands with blood and purge fake heroes to change the current society. Stain's quirk, Blood Curdle, allows him to paralyze his target upon tasting a sample of their blood. With this, he defeated and critically injured Tensei Ida, pro-hero with above-average formidability and high fortitude, who had attempted to apprehend the form of Vigilante. This left Tensei a paraplegic, Stain's 24th crippled victim and the last pro-hero that the hero killer had defeated. Despite his extremist views and beliefs, Stain does have genuine ideals about heroism, which he stands by firmly. He does not hesitate to save people he deems worthy of being called heroes, does not like killing without reason, and would even give advice to his enemies. He seems to acknowledge that what he's doing is morally wrong, but believes that in order for society to be put on the right path, someone must be what he is, indicating he sees himself as somewhat of a martyr. He was reluctant to attack Tenya Iida before the hero in training provoked him. He even told Tenya the true traits of a hero and spares Izuku Midoriya because he shows the characteristics of a true hero. Perhaps the larger contributing factor to Stain's infamy and his ranking on our list is that his actions and ideals have made him an inspiration for dozens of other villains, including some key members of the League of Villains. Ranking 6th on our list is Jin Bubaigawara, known by the villain name Twice, is one of the 9 lieutenants of the Paranormal Liberation Front. He is extremely powerful and has one of the most unique and useful quirks in the series. He can make duplicates of both himself and his allies. He is someone who even Hawks, the number 2 pro-hero, believed to be the most dangerous of Shigaraki's lieutenants. According to Giran, Twice's ability, Infinite Doubles, Sad Man's Parade, gives him the potential to take down entire countries. Due to this, he is ranked 8th on this list. His redeeming factor, however, is that it was his loneliness and dissociative identity disorder that are largely responsible for his joining the League of Villains. Twice was revealed to have been a lonely individual who created clones to compensate for friendship. He joined the League of Villains because they accepted him despite his mental disorder and made him feel comfortable in his own skin. We believe there is something to be said here about the society within the world of My Hero Academia, which, much like ours, is by no means perfect. Twice's desperation to find friends also leads him to trust others very quickly, leaving him vulnerable to betrayal and emotionally devastated when people like Overhaul turn on him. Placing 5th on our list is someone befitting his appearance. Muscular has a very sadistic and bloodthirsty personality. He openly admits that he wants to use his quirk freely to kill. Muscular enjoys killing and tormenting those he fights, quoting, "Show me your blood." Unlike most of the other members of the Vanguard Action Squad, he joined the League of Villains just to let loose with his brutal tendencies rather than following Stain's ideology. Muscular's quirk, Muscle Augmentation, allows him to greatly amplify his own muscle fibers, even reaching a point where they can't be contained by his own skin. These enhanced muscle fibers exponentially increase all of Muscular's physical abilities to a superhuman level, roughly on par with One for All. Muscular holds Muscle Augmentation quirk that allows him to expand his muscle to an extreme point where he can achieve the finest power and speed. He is someone that loves violence and loves to kill, which is proven when he kills Waterhose, a pro-hero. While searching for a Bakugo, Muscular was going to kill Kota, a young boy, just for the heck of it, and when he found out that he was the child of Waterhose, this excited him even more. He even taunted and tormented Kota several times during the fight with Midoriya. There is no redemption for Muscular, aside from the fact that he was defeated by Midoriya early in the series, so he didn't get a chance to cause more destruction. Ranking number 4 on our list is Dabi. Dabi's villainy in the series is a slow burn, with his motivations remaining rather vague, keeping him shrouded in mystery. For all we know, he may just want to see the world burn. What we do know is that he, like many other My Hero Academia villains, was deeply inspired by Stain's ideology. Like Stain, Dabi seeks to expose false heroes, but there are notable differences between these two characters. For one, Dabi shows ruthless and sadistic tendencies, with him taking pleasure in taunting his heroic victims, pro-heroes and students alike. Dabi's quirk, Cremation, grants him the ability to generate and manipulate super hot blue flames, the likes of which can raise forests and burn people to a crisp. His personality is abrasive, he is openly derisive to his teammates, and is even notably disrespectful towards his higher-up Shigaraki. At the same time, Dabi's calm-minded and always focused on any given task, making him terribly efficient. All things considered, he is definitely a force to be reckoned with, and we definitely see him rising to further prominence within the League of Villains. Entering our top 3 is Tomura Shigaraki. He is the new head of the League of Villains and also a legendary villain in the making. His quirk, Decay, allows him to cause anything he touches to crumble, organic or not. However, it's his strategic mind and ruthlessness that make him truly dangerous and elevate him to one of the greatest menaces to society. And hey, a nod from All for One doesn't hurt either. What places him here on the list is that his motivations up until this point have simply been to destroy things he doesn't like. In his case, All Might and the peace and justice he represents. Shigaraki's reasons for villainy come off a bit one-dimensional, unlike villains with much more impact such as Stain, who lived by a philosophy that gained him a dedicated following. Pro-heroes have even referred to Tomura as a man-child, not a great description for the successor of the most infamous My Hero Academia villain of all time. These facts, however, don't take away from the fact that he is more than willing to bring harm to anyone, including a crowd of innocent shoppers in a mall, all for the sake of his purpose. Shigaraki's villainy for the sake of villainy rationale and his single-minded goal to destroy the ideal that All Might embodied no matter what the cost lands him in a well-deserved third place. We see him becoming a great danger, especially since having seized Overhaul's quirk erasing drugs. Kisaki is our runner-up, the leader of the Shiehasa Ikai, and the main antagonist of his arc. Kisaki is a heinous villain who had both the heroes and the villains sweating at one point. His quirk, Overhaul, also his villain name, allowed him to reconstruct and deconstruct anything that he touched at will. With this, he could freely manipulate his surroundings and reshape the area to his advantage. Just a touch from Kisaki's hands was enough to kill anyone, as seen when he disintegrated the League of Villains magnet. After fusing with his subordinates, Kisaki grew even further in terms of strength and could hold his own against Midoriya at 100% of One for All. Overhaul believed that quirks are a plague on humanity, having infected people with sicknesses of heroism and villainy. Because of this belief and his history, Overhaul places little value on humans, viewing people as pawns for their utilitarian value and being willing to experiment on them to accomplish his objectives. He carries this sentiment even towards the other members of the organization he has been dedicating himself to since childhood, treating them as expendable sacrifices for his well-being and having no qualms in killing them off for the smallest mistakes. Even Eri, the centerpiece of his operations, is not spared from this brutal way of thinking, as he frequently shames and abuses her through threats and guilt trips, seemingly to warp her thinking and control her mind. His masterpiece was the formula that permanently took away quirks. For that, and his taking away one of the most lovable characters, Mirio Togata's quirk, he truly deserves the number 2 spot. And our number 1 spot of My Hero Academia villains is awarded to All for One. Where All Might stands for good and peace, there is a villain that stands for evil and chaos. All for One has been around for an extremely long time, doing everything in his power to cause chaos. The only ones who could stand in his way were the One for All users. His quirk shows how villainous he is, as he can steal quirks permanently from someone and use them in combination with others to create powerful attacks. With a selfish personality, a drive to reshape the world into chaos by any means, and power to match it all, it is very unlikely anyone can beat the evil incarnate that is All for One. All for One is the evil brother of the first One for All user and the progenitor of both quirks. With multiple quirks at his disposal, All for One's potential was pretty much limitless. Even then, All for One ended up losing twice to All Might. But at the same time, he's also survived both of these losses. After his defeat, All for One was sent to Tartarus, but even the highest security prison wasn't enough to stop All for One from achieving his ends, as he now intends to do through his protege and successor Tomura Shigaraki. Tell us who's on your top 10 list of most evil My Hero Academia villains. Drop a comment down below and we can get this discussion popping. Thanks for watching. This is Cosplay-FTW plus Ultra.
It's here, guys. It's here. So I got a mystery box at this website. I'll put it in the comments, but like, yeah. Okay, so what came with it is like I got a pillow with Kageyama and Kenma. I got a thingy. What's it called again? I forgot what it's called, but I got this. It's really nice. Kenma thing. Buttons with Lev and Kenma. I put in that Nekoma was my favorite school. And I got a crew body pillowcase. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I love it. I wasn't expecting this early, but I ordered this in July. Oh my goodness, I love it.